Hello, Facebook. How are you? I am Shan McGill, but you already know that. And I am joined with my wonderful, talented, beautiful friend, Aaron, who is giving up some of his time today as we talk all about the self image. So, Aaron, say hello to all these lovely people.
Hello, all the Facebook people. I did say hello to my Instagram people there, but that was ended abruptly due to some feedback, but never worry. Yes, my name is Aaron Taher. I am a human performance coach. I do life and success, motivation, manifestation, you name it. I have multiple different programs and platforms that I'm on, so you can come and say hello there. And I'm so grateful to be here today to talk a wee bit about self-image and what that means for us and the confidence that it brings to us as well.
It's such an interesting topic. Sorry if I look like I'm a little bit what's going on here. I'm just trying to share the video on Facebook on your profile. So
Oh,
feel
no
free to
worries.
jump on your phone, Aaron, and share it through your secret mentor page. So people that are on my Facebook will actually have access to you. But I've tagged you in a post there. So if you're watching on Facebook, say hello. Let me know who you are, where you're from, all that wonderful good stuff. And the more that you interact with our posts, the more likely we are to be seen on Facebook. And the more likely we are to be seen, then that means the more people we can actually help with this information. So yeah, I have a few wee comments on the Facebook already. So hello Facebook people. So far I can see we have Pamela, and we're gonna see Nicola, Pamela, Nicola Lackey. Oh, a few Nicolas on watching. Hello guys, hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Yes, so Aaron,
Yep.
self-image. Now,
Yes.
would I be right in saying that self-image is how I look?
No. That would be
No.
the biggest one. That's the perception that we have. That is the thing that we all think about. Everyone's thinking that this vessel is exactly what our image is. And it's not technically true. It's not even partially true. It's just a wee bit of who we are. And the image itself is something that is developed in two different forms. And it's actually a doctor, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, who decided whenever he was doing reconfiguration on people's faces during the war, that he actually found out that even though we repaired people, that they still felt differently after the repair if they were getting like reconstructive nose or cheeks or whatever had happened to them. And he figured out that it wasn't actually just this that created the image. So you had actually two images. You had an image of yourself and you had an image inside, so based within your subconscious. And again, that's something that we've delved deeply into in terms of what we're here for today. But the actual self-image is something that is going to give you everything that you want in life. It's actually the starting point that I make on all my courses. People sometimes start with a goal, and I don't believe that, because how could you ever create a goal based on the current version you have of yourself, your current level of confidence, your current image that you hold of yourself, and that's internally and externally. So whenever you're actually starting anything and starting out on any journey, the actual self-image, I believe, needs to be started first. Because if you're gonna go for something, well, then if you set a target of £100,000 to earn, or if you target to lose 5 stone, 3 stone, you're only going to do it based on your belief system that you're currently in. And that's not something that we want to do. That's not something that we want to work with, because that whole belief system is something that's set up by other people. It's set up by the people that we were brought up with. It's set up by environment. It's set up by your hereditary factors. It's set up by all these different factors that are here in the 3D world. So we have people's opinions and people's thoughts and people's feelings and people's emotions. All of those things are here in the 3D. We don't want to work in that. We want to go upstairs to 4D and go into imagination and start to pull those things together so that we can start to create this and start to love ourselves from the inside out. And from our inside, I mean our subconscious, from our subconscious mind. And we can start to release weight. We can start to bring money to us. We can start to bring good relationships to us. So your image really does be the starting factor, the genesis of who you're going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I work with so many people, as do you, but I'm going to make it all about me because that's just what I do anyway. What a
Here
good
we are.
self-image I have. But as I work with so many people, and that's why I started with that question, is self-image how I look? And once you really begin to explain to people, no,
Mm,
it's the concept that you have of yourself, it's the who that you think, feel, and believe that you are, is what really dictates everything that goes on. And it, full stop, I just need to leave it there. It dictates everything that goes on within your life. And it's so
massively.
important to actually work on, to upgrade, to make it bigger, harder, faster, stronger for everything that you're going for, because you will only, what's that saying? You can never out create your own self-image. You might do
Yeah.
it briefly, you might have a little blip 1 month where say you double your income, or you release that weight like that, or the family dynamics change.
Yeah.
But if you haven't worked inside to really embody that new self-image, then it's
Mm.
only going to be fleeting. It's going to be very brief, and that's where a lot of people will get those ups and downs, the ebbs and flows in their results, because they just haven't worked on that self-image. So yeah.
I'm the same. And again, this is why whenever I wrote my first program that I started it with self-image, and the image of ourself was the thing that I had done all these different programs and done all these different courses, and everyone throws all this information at you, and it's fabulous information, it's really good information, but the information wouldn't change me to the extent that I needed it to until the light bulb moment that I thought, actually, it's not changing me because I actually don't believe that anything that I can do. You can give me all this information, but I didn't believe that I could lose weight. I didn't believe that I could be an attractive person. I didn't believe that I could be a successful person. And I say this in exclamation marks or quotation marks because that was all false to me. It was a false identity. And this whole thing, and it's something we've spoke about before again, of this like age to 1 to 7 of creating this personal reality, which becomes then your personality. And then that creates a persona, which leads back to the Greek word of mask. And it's about leading us down a path now of where we're taking the mask off, because that mask's full of everyone else's opinions. That's full of everything that we've learned because we wanted to aspire to please someone else. We're not looking to please anyone else. We're looking to please ourselves. So that's our nature. That's our natural ability, is to try and feed ourselves. It goes back to Stone Age. We need food and water. But now we're thinking to ourselves in this generation, in this age, okay, well, aside from the food and water, I would like the happy marriage. I would like happy children. I would like health. I would
Mhm.
like wealth. I would like the nice car, the house. It doesn't matter what material it is or immaterial, but it all starts with your image, because we need to strip back everything that we are, because everything that we are and everything that we know we are has been taken from somebody else, or
Yeah.
has been set up in the knowledge to please someone else, and that doesn't work for us. This is why so many people go down this road of just closing themselves off, and it's all about someone else. They give, 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 and it's good to give, but we also have to stop ourselves sometimes and think, well, what is it actually I want? What is it that would bring me to the table? What would lift me? What would give me more confidence? And it goes back to that confidence is the willingness to try. So it's just a willingness to try for us to move forward and think, okay, well, how can I actually change this? It starts with your image.
Yeah.
Everything always goes back to your image, because it creates the confidence creates the money, the confidence creates the weight loss, the confidence creates the happiness. And again, we attract what we are. So if you're attracting like for like, if we're a confident person, you'll attract another confident person to be in your life and be your partner. If you're a confident person, you'll do the things that you need to do in order to lose weight and release weight. So we have all these different things and all these different faculties that we can use. And again, that's obviously the toolbox that we're going to bring to the forefront for people,
Yeah.
so that there's an alliance there, so that people can see, actually, I can do that. I actually can be all of those things.
Yeah.
And self-image is the starting point to everything.
Yeah. And like you've said my favorite C word there multiple times, confidence.
Yes.
Confidence, 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 you know.
Yeah.
Um, that's one of those words that I just love to be able to, first of all, blow apart with my clients. Just
Mhm.
completely let's unravel every single silly belief that you have to do with I'm not confident enough.
Yeah.
If I've said for the longest time that I've been self-employed, running my own business, um, people would always say to me, "Oh, I wish I had your confidence." You know, like, see, once I figure out how to bottle and sell my confidence, that's when I'm making my millions. Guess
Yeah.
what I figured out how to do? Bottle and sell my confidence. You know, so confidence is that real thing that needs to be worked on in order to create, in my own words, a kick-ass winning self-image. You
Mm.
know, and I don't know how many of your clients sit in front of you, Aaron. I'm not
Um,
confident. I don't
everything.
have any confidence. And, you know, I like to just reduce everything down to the absolute absurd, to the ridiculous, so that they can see that they do have confidence.
Yeah.
First of all, we are confident beings. That's just it. You know, the confidence is there. It's usually been tainted a little bit from childhood, from growing up, from other people's experiences, from hearing things from those people that you look at. But what I say to all of my clients is, oh, you're not confident? Who tied your shoelaces this morning? Well, I
Mm.
did. I'm like, funny that, isn't it? You can get up every single day and be fully confident in
Yeah.
tying your shoelaces.
Hmm.
So see that confidence that you have in being able to dress yourself, being able to get out of bed and make your breakfast and tie your shoes. Guess what that is? Confidence. You're able
Yeah.
to walk down the stairs without falling for the most part with, you know,
Yeah.
again, confidence. Confidence is there with everybody. It is
Oh
just,
yeah.
and I find, generally misplaced. You
Hmm.
know, as babies, we are born not caring. We have so much confidence. We're
Mm.
hungry and we're going to sit and cry and scream and make a fuss until we get what we want. Do you think a baby lies there and is like, oh, I'm really shy, but I'm kind of hungry? Oh, I've just been born. Look at me. I have wee chubby arms and legs. No, no. A baby's like, lap it all up, take it
Yeah.
all in, look at my splendor. And
Yeah.
that ability exists inside of us. We just need to tap into that again. And through the work that like you do and the work that I do and the work that we combine together just creates exceptional results, to be honest. You
Amazing.
know,
Yeah.
I'll stop and let you jump in.
Yeah, no, I think that the realization that the perfectionism that it does lie within you, it doesn't lie within anything else. And people always say confidence is an inside job, and I do agree with that to a certain point as well. But it's inside and it's nowhere as well because it's in the subconscious, so it's technically invisible. But the confidence, and I go back to it, is the willingness to try. Whenever we're told we're not getting a new job or we get a new job, and when we go into that office and we think, oh, I don't think I can do that, it's the thought process that we can't do it. It's not actually one word of just confidence. And again, it's the same thing. There's people probably sitting in their living room today that are sitting on this live and they're sitting in their dressing gown. They're trying to cover their body because they don't want to look at themselves. They don't have mirrors in their house because they don't want to see their own face. They have people that whenever they compliment them, they would just buckle because they don't know how to take a compliment. There's all these different areas to self-image, and
Mhm,
confidence is obviously one of them. And I know that we talked about like identity, and that identity is such an identity crisis within ourselves
mhm.
because we have again all these different areas that we've just absorbed everybody else's thoughts around. Somebody told you whenever you were 12 that they didn't like your tracksuit because your legs look big, and
Yeah,
then suddenly for the rest of your life your legs are big. So we have the ability to reprogram that, because if you've been programmed that way you can take it away.
yeah,
So it's the understanding that with the self-image and with that confidence, you can also change your identity. We can take the cap off that has all those things on it that people have told you over the years, and we can just remove it. We
yeah,
don't need to have it on all the time. And again, if there's people that are sitting there looking at themselves in that light, they're the people that I want to work with, because
yeah.
I want to show you that there's another way to life. And I know that because I was that person. I had no confidence in myself as a younger person. I had confidence in certain areas, but I had no confidence in the image of myself. I didn't want to look myself in the mirror. I had like acne and all these other standard things that are so standard that are obviously the worst thing in the world as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And it really blew my confidence at the time. So my self-image needed to be worked on. And again, this is why whenever it came to the point, whenever I started to look at myself and how I could help other people, nothing was working because I hadn't actually looked at my image. I hadn't looked at who I was and who I wanted to be, and I couldn't look at who I wanted to be because I hadn't fixed the current version, right? And that's something that I'm so excited to work with people on, because I know that I've done it to myself, you've done it to yourself. So, and I know that we can bottle this, and we have bottled it, and we'll put it out to everyone so that they can obviously take from that what they want and move forward in their life and start to release the weight, start to become the better person, start to be a person that's happy all the time. We can't be happy all the time. You know, we do have the universal laws around that, but we have a happiness in ourselves that can be all the time. You don't have to be smiling all the time,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah,
not beneficial either. But
yeah.
we also need to understand that we can have a happiness and a contentment of who this is and who we are. And that takes time and it takes effort as well. But that's what we have done. We have obviously got everything in a little package that can help people
Yeah.
really
And
quickly. So keep
I
maintaining
have
it.
confidently messed things up along the way, you know, and
Yeah,
I have made my mistakes and I have made them with confidence. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's
loads
like
of
I'm
them.
not entirely sure what I'm doing here, but I'm doing it anyway, you
Yeah.
know. And those things, if they're available to me, if those feelings, if those beliefs are available to me, they're
Mhm.
available to you as well. You know, I
Yeah.
say to absolutely everybody, nobody cares about the backstory. I have
Mhm.
a backstory, you have a backstory, you guys at home are watching it or watching have a backstory. Now, not that nobody cares, that's probably a bit too harsh, but we all have our backstories.
Mhm.
So that means it's kind of irrelevant. Because if I have my backstory, if Aaron has his, you have yours and the next one has theirs, then we all have crap going on. But we
Mhm.
can all still get up confidently and go, do you know what? That was a bit of a crap time. Shan and Oren are actually making a little bit of sense here. And so what if I take a step forward and I do that one well, and then I take the next step after that and I mess that one up totally? It's not the end of the world. No, it just means you get back up and you step in another direction and you do it with confidence, knowing that you're fabulous. But anyway, I'll get very preachy. I really will. It's just you know what I'm like when I want to help people. It turns from teaching into a rant to something
Everything.
completely different.
I think it's important to say as well that any results that you're currently achieving are only achieved on the basis of your current self-image. So if you want to achieve more, if you want to do more, if you want to be more and be heard more, that's your starting point. That's what needs to be changed. And whenever people look at different areas of life, they don't always link it to who we are in
Yeah.
ourselves and to what way we become. Like I always use, for example, like if you looked at Britney Spears, for example, she was told from a young age, you can sing, you can sing, you can sing. Now we all know probably categorically that Britney Spears can't really sing. So just put it out there, probably get a lot of
Yeah.
hate for that, but it is probably true. She's fond of an auto tune or two. So it's one of those things. She can't really sing, but she was told, get on stage, you'll be a success. She believed she could be a success. She became a self-fulfilling prophecy, and she was a success in every way possible. She had fame, she had money, she had the rest of it. But was that person's image right from a young age? No. So this led to a really destructive adult life. And
Hmm.
again, I actually put something on my Instagram the other day about being careful with your words, because it's easier to fix a child than it is to fix a damaged adult. And this is where it all goes back to. So whenever we're in our childhood, we're told these things and we just absorb them because we're sponges. And we have these aspirational people in our life, like could be an uncle, an aunt, like your big brother's best friend, or somebody that's been in your life that you aspire to be something like. It might be to look like them, might be to have their job, might be to have their car. And we take on what they tell us or say as gospel. We say that's exactly true. And it's not. They could be a complete idiot. And that is who they are as a person.
Yeah.
But did we know that? No. Did we accept their opinion? Yes.
Hmm.
And did it stay with you into your adulthood? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And then we become these people that can't look in the mirror. We become these people that go into a room full of people that we could be projecting ourselves onto for a $1 million contract, and we just quiver because we don't have any belief that that is something that we're capable of doing. And then there's the whole thing of cultural paradigm, which is the people around us and where we live and the way we're brought up, telling us that everything that you're doing, you shouldn't be doing.
Hmm.
You shouldn't get up on stage and sing, you'll make a fool out of yourself. Or you're really heavy, people that are heavy don't be a success in life.
Mhm.
Tell that to people like Jamie Carolina. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you have people like that that have made a company and sold it for $1 billion, and she was told outright, you're too heavy,
Mhm.
but she still is a success. And then we begin to release all those things from ourselves. It's such an identity crisis. It's such a belonging
Mhm.
that we need to have within ourselves, but it's all achievable and it's all doable. That's the whole thing. That's why we're here. Is the fact that we have suffered with these things, we've dealt with these things, and we've moved them forward. We've
Mhm.
created ways and techniques and tools that gives people a full toolbox to move forward in their life and get rid of all this limit, get rid of the glass ceiling, and move on.
Yeah. Absolutely. And is it work? Yeah. Is it hard work? No. Is it fun?
No.
Absolutely. Especially whenever you're bringing two different worlds together, like Oren's and mine, two vastly different people, vastly different knowledge bases behind us, but yet
Mhm.
the overlap just seems to be beautiful, and seems to be a lot more effective than.
Standard approach.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hello to all the lovely new people that are on watching. Please feel free to share this video. I do have a little comment here in Facebook, Aaron, before we move into the next
Sure.
point. From Pamela, if you have been bullied as a child from a grown-up, that can take your confidence away from you. So I'll throw in my 2 cents, and then you can throw
Sure.
in your 2 cents if there's anything
Sure.
you'd like to add. Pamela, so I don't want to say you're wrong. I'm thinking of how to word this differently. I agree in principle with what you're saying, that having a difficult experience from a grown-up as a child can absolutely cause beliefs to be formed there.
Mm.
I don't wholeheartedly agree that it can take your confidence away, because the confidence within you is always going to be there. You can tap into it, but you may have formed different then beliefs that don't let that be a full expression. So it's not like someone has taken the confidence away from you, Pamela. It's maybe just not as optimal as what it should be. So I that's the point that I want to make there, is that your confidence will not be taken away from you. You've just formed beliefs that aren't very true, or aren't very supportive, or very beneficial. Imagine being a young, effeminate, gay kid growing up in West Belfast. Do you remember how many times people shouted things from moving cars at me? And do you think I let that slow me down at all? Not a chance at all. So the confidence can always be there. So yes, we can have those experiences, we can have those difficulties. You can imagine the things that I heard in school. Can't kick a football to save my life at all. Didn't really fit in with the lads, with the boys. So there was a lot of things for people to bully me about, and that I was picked on for.
Yeah.
Would I have ever give them into my power? No. Did those things form limiting beliefs about me? Absolutely. Have I corrected those limiting beliefs? You bet. You bet. Absolutely. I really, really have. Would you like to add in anything, Oren?
Would you just read the question to me again?
Yeah. So if you have been bullied as a child from a grown-up, that can take your confidence away from you.
Bullied as a child?
As a child from a grown-up.
Oh, so an adult bullied
Her
her
as a
as a
child.
child.
Well, that's maybe a statement she's making. Maybe she's not talking about herself, but a child being bullied by a grown-up can take your
Hmm.
confidence away. The taking the confidence away was the only bit that I was like, it's always going to be there, just crazy
Yeah.
beliefs that we formed.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think there's a couple of things in that. The first thing I would say is that you're the only person in the entire world with the ability to alter or improve your image. So it all lies with you. I'm not saying that what happened wasn't good, but again, it goes back to the backstory that everyone has. Everyone has a black bag story, and everyone's had that. The thing is that years ago, we never talked about the black bag story. And what I mean by the black bag story is the backstory, everything behind us that's like swung over your back, and there's like a black bag full of
yeah.
negative comments, negative thoughts, people that have bullied you about how you look, your appearance, your abilities academically, all these different things, because we go through all these different stages in life. And then we watch all these other things happen. It's the same on Instagram. I could go onto Instagram today, start looking at my body and think, oh my God, it's terrible, because all these airbrushed, beautiful men or whatever that are on Instagram make me feel like that. It's my choice for it to make me feel like that. I have the ability to alter that image of who I am. And I also have the ability, like I said, to take all those things that are written on a cap or a shirt or whatever way analogy you want to look at it, and take that off and say, that's not who I am. That's actually not going to be me. So it's absorbing those things because you also have believed that what that person has said is true. So even though that adult maybe bullied you as a child, you've absorbed it because they were an adult and you were a child. So you have had the assumption, and it is very much assuming that that person knows what they're talking about. And again, it goes back to the fact that that person could be a complete idiot.
Yeah.
It might not actually lead you in the right direction. And again, if you look at confidence, like the dictionary describes it as a feeling of consciousness of one's powers. So the feeling of consciousness of your power means that you know up here in your mind that you have the ability to accept or reject. So whenever you deal with people like that, it's easy for me to turn around and say, you need to just release, you need to let go of it. But again, that's what we're doing here today. That's why we're bringing these things to the forefront. So the people like you that have maybe suffered with something like that, we can get you the toolbox to start going, okay, how do we fix this? Here's the book, here's the toolbox, here's all the techniques to try and move away from that, and to eventually move away from it fully, and understand that in this game and in this world, that you're one of one. The likelihood of you being here is 1 in 400 trillion. So by definition, you are one of one. So everything that you are is perfect, and nobody else needs to comment on that. It's you believing you're perfect would be the starting point to that journey.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We did get a little bit more on that, on Pamela's specific input there.
Sure.
Like I said, I didn't want to assume that she was talking about herself. I
Sure.
kind of thought she did, but we didn't want to assume that as she didn't
Of
say.
course.
But
Yeah.
she did say there that she was bullied from a primary school teacher, which obviously then reinforces what you're saying. That's someone in a position of authority. That's
Yeah.
someone that as a child we don't know any better. You know, we look up to these teachers,
Yeah.
doctors, parents, and all of that because they are in that role of authority. So it
Yeah.
is a crappy experience when things like that happen, absolutely. But as Aaron says, you're in control of your power.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a dictionary definition, feeling of consciousness of one's powers. So you have the ability to be confident and have the ability to understand that your consciousness chooses the power to have, and you give power to those words or you take it away. It's your choice
mhm.
whether you give power to it. I could sit in a room full of people throwing bad slurs at me and tell me everything, and I would still leave the room feeling the way I feel about myself because I have the ability to reject them all.
Yeah,
I decline to be put in that position. I decline your thoughts. I decline your version of me because I understand who I am well enough, right?
mhm,
I've created this. This took work. I didn't just become this person overnight. It wasn't an overnight success. It certainly wasn't an overnight ease of success. But what I did is I actively went about my business to think, how can I be my ultimate self? And I'm not talking about body, I'm not talking about my looks, I'm not talking about my hair. I'm being my ultimate self. Now, whenever I walk into a room, it doesn't bother me who's there. Now,
yeah,
whenever I put on clothes, I look at how I feel in them. I don't think, what would someone think of me in them? Because whenever we go back to, again, that teacher or these people and how they make us feel, we're then giving them the power. We also are needing to understand that those people were in your life for a reason. And that's not easy to understand sometimes,
mhm,
and we can go into that in a wee bit more depth and maybe a different live, but there is a reason why those people are put in your path, and there's a reason why those negative things happen as well. Because if nothing negative happened to me in my past and I didn't change my image, I wouldn't be able to resonate on a certain level with the clients that I have now. So it makes sense, right?
yeah,
It's like Steve Jobs talks about connecting the dots, looking back. That is what we're doing.
yeah,
We're wanting to connect the dots looking back so that this image can now be a portrayal of who we are and not all the dots behind us.
yeah. Beautifully put. We'll put a full stop
Good.
to that and move on to the next part.
Good.
So, follow-up question, same. Let me attempt that one again. See, look at me confidently making mistakes and just moving on through it.
Yes.
So, what is another important aspect of the self-image, Aaron?
A feeling of competence.
Mm,
People don't often understand what that is. A feeling of competence is something you feel whenever you've achieved something that might have been outside the realms of what you would have ever done before. So, say for example, before I had a new version or self-image of myself, I might have not been as confident to walk in and say to my manager, "This is how I'm going to do this, and I'm going to push this forward because I know I can do it in this way, in this manner." I would have walked in and asked the question, could I do that? Whereas the newer version of me, if I was walking into that room, I would say, here's how I'm going to do it. So there's a difference in that approach. I am competent in what I'm doing because I know what I'm doing. And the level of competence comes with the confidence as your self-image grows. And when your self-image is starting to expand, when it's starting to absorb all the good and it's starting to take in all the positive vibrations that we're starting to speak about ourselves, your confidence level starts to grow. Everything you do, you attack it with a knowingness that you can achieve it.
mm,
That's confidence. You're going all in, knowing fine well that success is at the other end of it. Again, if it's weight loss, if it's earning more money, you're going into each situation with a level of competence to know that you can achieve that, that it's totally within your wheelhouse to have that,
mm,
and it's all possible for you.
yeah,
So whenever it's possible for you, you become totally confident. You're one of those people that people walk into or say to, you're really confident about things. That's not a full title. You're actually really competent
mhm,
about things because you know how to do them. You know how to approach a situation. You know how to deal with accepting and rejection of comments about maybe, again, your image. And then this all goes back and forth. So that's why a feeling of competence is another massive part into this title of confidence, which creates a self-image. It's the competency when we move forward and we put all these different things into motion that we start to understand that's who we are based on the fact I know I can execute those thoughts and feelings and emotions, which is a manifestation technique as well.
yeah, absolutely. Competency is one of those things that I share with all of my clients, no matter what type of work it is that I'm doing, working with people. And it's like, well, how do I get there? How do I become more competent? And how can I increase my confidence? And it's like, well, you got to put the work in. You know,
Yeah.
once you kind of begin to embark on a journey of growth, of development, of learning new things, whether it be about yourself, about your business, about your family, whatever it is, the more knowledge that you can gather, the more knowledge that you can understand, the more that you can then apply that knowledge, your confidence and your competence levels will naturally increase without you even realizing it anyway. Because
Yes.
you have been putting that work in, you have been studying, you have been practicing, you have been letting go of the past, and all of a sudden you're a whole different person. You know, changing your self-image and becoming confident and competent, it's ongoing. You know, you don't just wake up one day and think, oh, that's me, I'm done, I'm sorted. I think that's a very dangerous place to be at. Um, it's even like where I'm at now. I know that I'm very confident in what I do work wise. I'm very competent in what I do work wise. Thankfully, I have the most amazing clients, and their results show that. You know, I'm very
Yeah.
results focused with my clients. But I didn't just wake up like that one day. You know, I had to invest in me. I had to understand the field that I'm in. I study the field that I'm in daily. I also study things that are going to help benefit me in being that better version of myself. Does it
Mhm.
take a very long time? Not really, but I still have the time throughout my day to do those things. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, little by little by little by little, it's like, oh, look, I'm a very different person from who I was 6 months ago. You
Yeah.
know, people that know me that have been following my story know that almost 2 years ago I was in the worst place of my life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically as well. Until this person that I am now, and I don't even recognize him from 2 years ago. You know, I don't know who he is anymore. Looking back, but that was a gradual process of learning new things, of becoming more confident in my ability, of just allowing myself to trial, error, get things done, and really let go of all of those, just those crazy things that go on, detaching from who I
Yeah.
was. Did I go off on one again? Sorry.
No, I enjoyed it, and it's so true. And again, this is the thing: if I put 10 women in a room, and say those 10 women had children, if I put those 10 women in a room and said, "Okay, you've got 60 seconds, write down everything that you hate about yourself," people would go wildfire. The page would be on fire. It would not get an opportunity to have the pen off it. If I also said, "Okay, I'm going to bring you in next door, and I'm going to get you to hand all those things to your daughter," how would you feel?
Mm, mm-hmm,
Because we're okay to continuously self-sabotage on ourselves all the time, because we're okay to pick out all the negative things. We're always okay to bring ourselves down, but we're not good at bringing ourselves up. Why is that possible? Because that's how we're brought up. That's how we're told to
mm-hmm,
be. We're not brought up with those things. We're not told because you're told you're cocky. You're told that that's not a very nice way to be completely absurd about yourself, about your beauty, about your skills. It's told that you're being overconfident. Does that exist? I don't really think so. But having that confidence is an inner certainty. And again, whenever I do the reverse of that and I say to 10 women, okay, write down all the positive things about yourself, we have this thing whereby we just black out. We don't have an option. We don't even think of anything. We struggle to list 10 things about ourselves.
mm-hmm.
And that is the same that you're reflecting then onto the next generation again. So we're all based on our parents having that lack of confidence, self-image, competency, identity. Nobody's learned how to put all those things together. And again, by what we're doing in terms of bringing my world and your world together in mindset and hypnosis, is doing the reverse of what most people, 99% of people, are doing today. Because what we're doing is focusing in on the mind and the subconscious together while working with it while you're even sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Not just by doing one thing and hoping that if we feed it enough information with repetition, that it just works. It will work, but it will take longer. But if we use the hypnosis, then we'll be able to get there quicker. So we
Yeah.
start to create a better image, we start to create better results, and we start to release weight, and we start to be a happier version of ourselves. And then we become more confident and more competent. We create an identity for ourselves. And then we know, which brings us to the next point, that we have a belonging in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Belonging. Yes, there's a few things that are running through my head based on what you said, and it was like, what will I grab onto first? You know, so before we move into belonging, I do want to mention what you'd said about like our worlds colliding,
Mhm.
and you know the saying, the repeating the good things over and over and over again, hoping that it
Mhm.
works. Many people would know those things as auto suggestion, affirmations, those types of things, where they do have a very good place in learning to change the mind and the mindset. But what I find they don't do, which is you'll see the overlap in both Aaron's and mine, is they don't uncover and eliminate the root cause. So you could be slapping on a brand new belief system, a brand new thought process, which could benefit you absolutely greatly. I know auto suggestion on its own, affirmations on its own, has worked wonders for both of us
Yeah.
individually. But once we've started then uncovering and eliminating, sorry, um, thank you, ciao. Sorry, it was the cleaners. Once we start uncovering and eliminating the belief that is lying underneath there, those beliefs that are keeping our self-image in that stuck place, that's whenever you tend to get those quantum leaps. You know, that's whenever you hear about people 5 times in their income, you
Mhm.
know, in the period of a couple of weeks.
Happened
It's
to
because
me.
it's not just the trying to put in a new idea, it's the extraction of the one that's keeping you stuck. So you're actually creating more of a space to bring in a fully realized concept
Yeah.
without the hurt, without the trauma, without the upset, which is, again, like I said, if I could bottle and sell this, which I am, absolutely amazing. And I wanted to touch on that because, again, I know how your work has affected me, and you know how my work has affected you. Because
Yeah,
what we're talking about, we have worked on each other with this,
yeah.
so it's not like, oh, let's do this. It's like, hold on a minute, there's a science behind this, let's figure this out. We
Mm,
figured it out and we've got there. Um, Now, let's move into belonging.
yeah.
Belonging and having that sense of belonging. I came across a quote or a saying or someone just said something a few years ago, can't even remember who it was, and oh my God, was that a kick in the backside for me. So everyone knows me as this person on Facebook. They've seen my marriage, my divorce, my relationship to that other one. They know my family, they know my friends, people have seen me online. But I would have always been, oh, my social battery's done here and need to go. And it would be, we have an innate sense of belonging. We are communal people, we are supposed to have a community around us. Like that's saying it takes a village, or is that a song? I don't know. But it takes a village. We are supposed to connect and interact and have that sense of belonging with other people. And I find whenever people feel like they don't belong, that comes from a fear of rejection. It's a fear of being rejected for who you truly are, for that authentic version of yourself. You'll find a lot of people that go, oh, I just need a little bit of time on my own, but yet they're comfortable there with their dog. I thought you needed
Yeah,
time on your own, but you're all right being that full expression of who you are around your dog. Silly
yeah,
example, but it makes
yeah.
sense. And once I realized that that is coming from a place of, I'm afraid these people will reject me, I was like, uh-oh, I need to start showing up a little bit more here. I need to now
Right.
start making a conscious effort to connect with people around me. I need to start taking those invitations that my neighbors used to give me, come to the barbecue and, torture the kids. And I'd be like, no, thank you. And I would sit two doors down and be like, I wish you would leave me alone. But then I started to take those things, those invitations, those opportunities to connect with other people. And do you know what happened? People actually liked me.
Mm,
Nobody thought, oh, I don't like him. He doesn't belong with us. There's that real sense of just easily connecting with other people. And like I say, that fear of rejection is such a caveman fear that is so deeply ingrained in us because
yeah,
at one stage in our evolution, in our human development, rejection could have caused death. If you were rejected by your tribe, you were left cold, alone, and hungry. What comes from that? Death. So now that we are cavemen in a modern world, we find it oh so easy to just go and retreat into our own comfort, our own homes, and not really be around other people. Um, Oh, good, good, good. Sorry, just looking at the comments there. I'm so easily distracted, aren't I? Once we can really, I'm trying to tie all this in together a little bit, so feel free to jump in 5 minutes, Oren. Once we become that little bit more confident in ourselves, once we become that little bit more competent in ourselves, we will understand that, there is people out there that may go, no, he's not for me, Shan's a bit too gay for me, or whatever it may be.
mm,
It's fine, that's on them. Find
yeah,
the people that you belong with and having that sense of connection to other people, to other things that you're doing in your life is
yeah.
absolutely amazing. And you don't really need to fear that rejection from other people. So
No.
pass the microphone over to you, Aaron.
I totally agree. I think like there's a really common saying like your vibe attracts your tribe, and I that's really like a popular thing on Instagram, for example,
Hmm.
but it's actually true in its nature of what people are talking about in terms of your belonging nature, because your vibration attracts the people that come to you, because like attracts like. And again, that goes back to the whole story of paradigms, and you're attracting what you think about. So whenever you're confident, whenever you're competent, and whenever you're having that structure of your new identity, we then go into belonging. The belonging is who you are in this person now. And you don't need to worry about, like, does somebody like me? Is that other person thinking this of me? Does that person think the shirt I'm wearing is ridiculous? Does that person think I don't know what I'm talking about? You complete confidence, and you can go into the belonging now, whereby you know with all facts to yourself that I'm going to do what I want to do in this world, and I'm going to be that person. And it's like they say, you know, the good you find in others is a reflection of the good you find in yourself. And that's because whenever you find yourself in that good and in that good vibration, then people start to gravitate towards you. Again, this is what I was saying about gravitating like a good partner towards you, or releasing weight, or all these things that are attracted purely on the basis of your new vibration that you set on. So like we live on different vibrations, and you're attracting closer and closer and closer to your goal every time. So if we get an image here, we're attracting the people at that level. If we up our image to here, we're attracting the people at that level. Once we get the belonging, then we're right on. We know exactly who's coming to us. These people are all going to walk into our lives. Whenever I started out in this journey, then people started to gravitate towards me, and people that I had never even spoke to before would reach out to me and be like, are you doing coaching? I would love to be coached by you. And I was like, why would you want to be coached by me? My perception still hadn't changed of myself. I had done all this study, I'd written all these things, I had written the whole journal and books and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, well, of course I know what I'm talking about. And I get clients now saying that to me. So that was like 3 or 4 years ago even. And people would say that to me and reach out. I didn't have the belonging. I felt like I didn't belong in this sector, in this like mindset world, in this mindset community, because I wanted to do things differently as well. I didn't want to be the average mindset consultant, which is why I don't call myself that either, because I had so much more to give. I'm not just throwing a book at people. I'm going, okay, hope for the best. I wanted to bring so many other things to the table. Again, that took confidence to say, I'm new in this world and I'm actually going to do things better than you did them before. To say that in this world, people would think you're absolutely crazy, but I succeeded because I had confidence. I competently went into it, knowing that I had all the stuff behind me to move forward, to do what I wanted to do. I had the identity. I knew who I was going into it. I knew that I could bring myself to the table for everybody in the right manner. And then that made me belong in this area. So I was able to bring all those people to me. I wasn't even looking for them. People came to me
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I was in that vibration, and my vibe then attracted my tribe. I created a belonging for myself because it naturally will gravitate towards you. So you
yeah,
can have all these things. You can sit on your sofa today and say, I was told this or I was told that. You can be sitting in your office probably right now with maybe one ear pod in, answering the phones with your other ear, and you're listening to us and you're thinking that actually resonates with me because I feel like that. I feel like I don't know who I am. I don't feel like I could walk into a room confidently. I don't feel like I belong in certain areas. I do feel like I have friendship groups that talk behind my back. You know, if those are all things that you're feeling, well, then that's why this is created. That's why we have created this for people like that, that can start to remove all those negative things, remove all those things that are limiting beliefs, remove the glass ceiling, take the cap off with all the negative emotions and feelings that other people have imprinted on you over the years, and move forward
yeah,
and be the version of you that already exists. We just don't believe that version exists because, again, we look around us for the 3D, and we look for other people's opinions, subjective, subjective, subjective. We
yeah,
look for everyone else's. And what we need to do is obviously pull the 4D, the imagination, down and become the person that already exists. If I say, oh, the Aaron that hasn't earned $100 million doesn't exist yet, that's technically true, but it's also not true because that person does exist. I just haven't become that person yet. My image isn't evolved to that person yet, you know? So it's just about finding who we are. But the belonging aspect of it is whenever you know you've put everything else into place.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Perfectly worded. And I can't believe we actually spent almost an hour and had a full-on serious conversation. How
I
easy we
know.
get distracted when we get together. Um, look at us go.
Real life.
Absolutely. And we will have that $100 million earner image installed in you in no time
Mm,
at all, Aaron.
literally, it's on its way. And
Yeah,
again, I'm confident about that.
yeah. And I
I
know that
know
you're
that's happening.
I know that you're buying me a car. So,
Yes. Yeah,
once
I've already bought a couple of people, so may as well
you
join.
why not? Like guys, the self-image is the most important aspect. Does not matter if you are, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a stay-at-home mum,
Mm,
whatever it may be, the image that you hold in your mind is what dictates results in every single area of your life without fail. You cannot outperform your self-image. And I know you've mentioned from the age 1 to 7 a few times, could have been today or just in other conversations we've had. And there's also this, uh, maybe I'll get in trouble if I start saying things about religion. But there's a lot of other sayings that back up that age range also.
mm,
From 1 to 7, 2 to 7 is when we are at our most sensitive in our mind, when we will take in so much that will form who we are going to be. And the wonderful thing is that we can dive deep into the subconscious mind using my work, using Aaron's work, and remove those limiting beliefs. And a limiting belief doesn't always come from a bad experience. A limiting belief, like Aaron says, is we could have just listened to someone we looked up to. I know my saying goes, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. That's usually because we look up to our mums, we look up to our dads, we look up to our grannies, our grandas, and all of those types of things. And, I know with hypnosis, and the work that I've done, I've been able to uncover how a lot of experiences with my granny has shaped me. I love my granny dearly, absolutely. She's like the most awesome woman ever. She's a bit mental, but I love her dearly. But as a child, like I spent so much time with her, but see the amount of crazy money beliefs that I picked up from my granny. It's wild. But
mm.
the thing is, as a child, we don't understand that. We don't understand that that's her story, that's not mine. We see these people that, talk about the struggle and making ends meet and only the rich get rich. These money doesn't grow on trees. These are all things that I heard. One of the biggest ones was, son, if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to work hard for it. And I spent my whole life chasing my tail up until a few years ago and earning
Okay.
crap money, you know. But they're loving memories that I have as an adult with my grandmother.
Mm,
That's wonderful experiences. There's nothing wrong there, there's nothing bad there. But through using the alpha brainwave and hypnosis, we're able to understand and go back and go, well, that poor little, 6, 7 year old, this is how he felt then. Not the 35-year-old man right here, right now, who's going, my granny gave me advice as a kid, wasn't that lovely? The 5, 6, and 7-year-old was going, oh no, I have to work really hard to do anything in life. Only rich people get rich. What does that mean? That's a scarcity mindset. That's a lack mindset. That's a never going to break through any more than what my family earns. I could probably talk about that a bit more, but I'm not going to. And I earn good money, much more than my immediate family does, because I eliminated those beliefs. But not only did I eliminate those beliefs, I got help in installing new beliefs,
yeah.
supportive beliefs, beneficial beliefs. And again, I'm talking about money just because money is something that we all can measure. £10 is always £10. £10 to me is going to be £10 to you. So, that's just the way it is. But also the experiences that we can have can shape our relationships, can shape our friendships, will shape our health. That is just it. We have active minds and reactive bodies. Guess what's going on there when you're being a little negative Nancy in yourself?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Aaron, jump in.
No, I would agree with everything that you're saying. And then it goes back to the whole thing that whenever you create this new image of yourself, and whenever we go through that mindset and the hypnosis to get there, is that you start to ask yourself whenever you go to say something, is that actually my belief? Like whenever people say, again, your granny, for example, or your mom or your dad would have told you, like I know I was told, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, actually, does it not? Because where is it? Money's available for everyone. It just depends on what gift you're using that you were given at birth that you just haven't deciphered who it is yet because you were told by them that you need to be a doctor, that you need to be a lawyer, that you need to be a dentist. You don't want to be any of those things because that's not your gift. Your gift was actually singing. Your gift was making crafts. Your gift is creating new AI. Everyone has all these gifts and they're not actually brought to the forefront because of other people's beliefs, because of what their image should have looked like based on somebody else's thoughts. That's what we need to move away from. So it's asking again, what is your question? And am I going to answer it from my perspective? Or am I going to answer it from somebody else's perspective that I have taken in and essentially I have ingested it into my conscious and my subconscious from some previous time in my life. And again, this is the whole thing of what we're doing this for, is to ask yourself, do you not feel confident? Do you not feel happy in your body? Do you not feel like you have enough money? Do you not feel all of those things? If that answer is yes, well, then that's why this is here. Because we want to ensure that everyone has the feasibility to understand that everything's available if you want it, if you just decide to make one decision to work on yourself for yourself and not for anyone else, not to take somebody else's opinion. Again, whenever I told everyone I was going to do this and I had to invest large sums of money, everyone thought I was mental. They thought I was nuts. But why did I do it? I was intuitively driven towards it because there was a decision came across the screen in my mind to say, do this. This is what you gravitate towards. That's your new vibration. And I took that risk for myself and it paid off, because it always pays off, because your intuition is linked to your mind and it's the only part of your body that has the same two chemicals. Why would you say that? Because your gut instinct is always your gut instinct for a reason.
Yeah.
So if it's something that resonates with you, then it resonates for a reason. It resonates because you're hearing what we're saying and understanding that you can be more on the basis of your image.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are wanting to change that self-image, if you're wanting to learn what Aaron and I know, if you want to work with Aaron and I, well, I'm sure Aaron, you have a nice little link you could put into the chat box there,
Yes, I do
comments
actually.
on Facebook. Aaron and myself have been working on a project for God, that long. I can't remember, but it's been quite a while, putting together the self-image seminar. And this is where we're bringing the best of both worlds. We're bringing everything that Aaron knows as being, I know you don't like the word like mindset coach. I don't really have a correct title for you. I just think you're, I just think you're kick-ass. Aaron speaks on stages all over the world. Aaron has clients from all over the world for mindset and business, where he helps coach people through all these things using, everything to do with the mindset, the laws of the universe, how it all works. And you've also got my expertise as an
Yes.
award-winning hypnotherapist, that has got a proven track record of getting people results that they want. And we have created the self-image seminar. And the self-image seminar is a 4-week 5-part program that will each week will be working on the different parts that Aaron and I have spoke of this afternoon or this evening or this morning, wherever you are, where there will be the training aspect on really understanding what each of these principles are. Then there'll be the transformational hypnosis that will be going on also to help eliminate what's keeping you stuck there and install in that new sort of belief system with that. Now, this is a sort of, shall we say, a one-off program. that we are running. You know, you've sent me the you've sent me the link for the Zoom meeting
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Can you go on your phone and put it in the chat on the Facebook?
Yes, I did that. Sorry, I
Okay.
did that already. Sorry, bear with me.
Yeah,
I've that many links today. You also
it's
sent me
fine.
your links.
So it's a 5 step, but it's a 4 week live program with Aaron and myself that will include teachings, trainings. You're also putting together at home work for people
Yeah,
also, Aaron, to really implement things,
yeah.
as well as a
There'll be
weekly.
a full guide.
Yeah, as well as the hypnosis to remove and replace those limiting beliefs. And then that will be the 4 weeks. And then the fifth part of that will be each individual that signs up will also be getting a personalized transformational hypnosis audio, because there's no point in giving you one at the start, because at the end of the program
Yeah.
you are going to be a different person, so you will be getting this audio to support you on your journey moving forward. So if you're interested in the self-image and becoming that, I don't want to say better, because that's not the right word, and that more expansive version of who you are, then come ahead, join us. Aaron's about to let his private clients know that this is going available as well. So,
Yeah.
spaces are limited. It is being limited to 10 people to join us on this exciting journey. And the principles that we are teaching and using are, what Aaron and I have been doing the work on each other with for the past few months in order to help us accelerate our results. So come
Yeah.
along.
It is. I think it's important to note that it is a one-off, and it is also something that you can use for life. Whenever you're buying into something like that, in every sense of the manner, in terms of your time, your money, your effort, it's all about you, number one. But secondly, this is something that you can use for life. I've learned techniques from this that I will continue to use on every stage that I speak on, or every Zoom call that I talk on for the rest of my life. So it's a completely tangible product for me for the rest of my life to have all these physical things that I can actually use. But more to the point as well, from your perspective, you're actually getting a one-to-one with you that people are obviously paying for naturally to have in certain
Mhm.
circumstances, but you're also doing this as a one-to-one for those 10 people to use again for the rest of their life. So it's not just as if it's for 5 weeks or 4 weeks that we're just doing something to help you get to the next stage. This is to create a whole new version of you. And this is to create a whole new version of you that continues to grow over the next 5 months, 8 months, year, 12 years, 24 years. It's about continuous growth, and it's about looping that back with the mindset, with the hypnosis, to ensure that everything comes together perfectly. And how do we know it comes together perfectly? Because we've done it on ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
it's all about that, and it's about making sure that you're a success in terms of your image, your confidence, your belonging, your identity, and your feeling of confidence to move yourself forward in every aspect. Have that better body, have that better mindset, have a clearer mindset, be in good relationships, be in a good marriage, attract better people, have more money, drive a better car, live in a better house, fly in a better seat. It's all about making all of those things that people think can't be achieved achievable, because we know it's achievable based on your image,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We know it's achievable based on the fact that we've done it and we're doing
Yeah,
it.
we're here.
Exactly, and we are no different than anybody else, and that's something I have been shouting on at people for so long. It's like,
Yeah,
you are aware, like I've moved country, living in a massive apartment, two cleaners, as you just heard them rock the door there. Like my life is, as my
yeah.
brother keeps saying, your life is like a movie. Your life isn't real. You're so lucky, and I'm like, I'm not lucky at all.
It's totally achievable for everyone.
I am no different than what you are. Luck has nothing to do with it. I put the work in. I bet on myself every single time, even when I'm having crappy days. I am not a motivated person. That's just let's be honest. Sorry, my camera's gone a bit funny there. I am not a motivated person. I do not feel motivation 24/7 to get up early, to sit up late, to get work done. The difference is my self-image is disciplined. I know that I am a disciplined individual, and I know that if you tell me to do something, I am going to do it. If
Okay.
I tell myself to do something, I am going to do it. Do you know why that is? It's because I'm hungry, because I want more, and I know that I am capable of more in every single aspect, because I'm really tapping into who I am at my very essence. You
Yeah.
know, and the more that we move towards our potential, the more our potential expands and grows. You
Mm.
know, if we're meant to be this fuller, expressed image, but we just get caught up in the nonsense and the BS and the lies that we tell ourselves, the lies that we've bought on from other people, and it's just not fun anymore, guys. So
Yeah.
join us on a fantastic journey. Plus, you would want to look at me and Aaron every week, wouldn't you? Of course you would.
Of course, you want to
Absolutely.
spend time with us.
Yeah. Absolutely, you know, Aaron will keep me in line as well and stop me going on rants. So that's always a benefit, isn't it, you know? Um, so join us on the Self-Image Maker, the seminar as we're calling it, for the starting point for your success. You
Yeah,
know, it's about time to
absolutely.
bet on you guys, in my opinion.
100%.
Mm. So, on that note, are we happy to say goodbye to everyone on Facebook?
I'll say goodbye for now,
Hmm.
and I'll see everyone on the inside too.
Absolutely. Guys, I've tagged Oren in this as well, so feel free to send him a friend request, go on and annoy him, say that I sent you his way. Absolutely. And guys, yes, absolutely. I will see you on the inside. Ciao.
But yeah,
You're Oren though.
I'll say here.
You stay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.